Hi, I'm Stacy Beck, and I'd like to welcome you to this Fiesta Days special program. Every parade or event typically recognizes some dignitary, a celebrity, or residents that have a long standing in the community or people that have made an impact. And we are happy to have a couple with us today that perfectly fits those qualifications. Let me introduce you to our honorary Grand Marshals for Fiesta Days 2025. Richard and Tamra Davis. I feel like I need to just stand up and give you a standing ovation. I love you guys.
We love you.
Well, we love you, and we love this city very much.
I know you do. It's time that the Davises were our Grand Marshals. It just feels like it's right. We've already got him crying. We're not even out of the gate. We're not even out of the gate. Okay, we're going to go back into time before we start talking about what you've done recently. I want to know, like, you both grew up here. Let's hear where you grew up, who your families are, where, and how did you guys meet? Tamra, let's start with you.
Well, I grew up right on Center Street.
Right here in Spanish Fork.
Just a perfect location for the parade.
Was the parade has always been down Center Street?
It's not always been down Center Street, but
that's what you remember growing up?
Yeah.
Okay. And who were your parents?
My parents were Calvin and Carol Thomas.
Okay.
Great people.
And how many siblings?
I had an older sister, 2 younger brothers, and 2 younger sisters.
So a big
there were
family.
6 of us. Yeah, 6 of us.
All right. And what schools did you go to?
I went to Central Elementary, and it's not even there anymore.
Oh, where was that?
Do you know where it's not even, it was the middle school.
Okay.
It's apartments now.
Okay, like on 2nd East?
That's correct.
And like First North?
And it looked like the Thurber School.
Yeah, okay.
It did.
Okay. Richard, what about you?
I grew up right off of Main Street on 8th North. State Street used to come down Main Street and then make a turn going east and head towards Springville, and that was the main highway, and I lived right on that Main Street right there. I mean, trucks would come around the corner and tip over all the time. And
Really?
Oh yeah, it was pretty wild.
So you guys were only 8 blocks apart?
Yes. Yes, and my grandpa lived next door to us, and my great-grandfather lived just down the street a little bit. They were pioneers back in the 1870s, and that was our block, the Davis block, and that's where I grew up. And
so was it really called the Davis block?
well, sort of, in a way.
Like,
but,
yeah, because the whole family's there. Oh my gosh.
So anyway, but that's where I grew up, and I went to the Reese School, and then the middle school, that was them apartments that you were talking about, and that's where I met Tamra.
Okay.
And then the junior high school, and then the high school.
So you're both Dons?
We're all both Dons,
you bet.
absolutely.
Okay. And
Go
then,
Dons.
so did you date in high school?
Well, we were boyfriend and girlfriend in middle school.
Oh.
For 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And then we broke up.
Forever? No.
Well,
not forever, but
then-
obviously for a while.
But then fast forward to high school, and I asked him out to a girls' choice dance, not knowing at the time that he had just had knee surgery and had a cast from your...
Thigh cleared out of my ankle.
So no dancing that night?
But he
sorta
still
did,
went.
a little
Okay.
bit,
He
yeah.
still went.
Okay. And then
Were you still
together since then?
Yep, we've been together since then.
Okay.
Yeah, I asked her out on a date on New Year's Eve, and we've dated ever since.
Oh, I love that story. So what about right after school? Did you tell us about college or missions or
I went
early
up to
jobs?
Utah State University. I got a track scholarship up there, so I decided to go up there and run track. And I was in physical education and kinesiology, studying that. And Tamra followed me up. I'm glad she did.
I really wasn't, I went to school, but I wasn't really serious about it.
Okay, but it was a good time.
So after our freshman year, we were married.
Okay.
Just before we started our sophomore year, we got married.
And then how long were you up there? Till you graduated?
That's right.
So 4 years?
Yep.
And did you run right back to Spanish Fork?
I had an opportunity to start a business, and so I decided to do it, and we moved back down to Spanish Fork, and we've been here ever since.
See, you made it 4 years longer than my husband and I. We moved to Provo for 1 year and came right back. Something just drew us back here. It's home.
It is home.
So did you start, I mean, I know so much of your community involvement. Did it start clear back then, like in your early 20s? Do you remember serving then?
When we moved back from Utah State, Jack Swenson asked me to do a concrete job at the Russell Swenson Park.
Okay.
It wasn't called the Russell Swenson
Right.
Park because Russell was still alive, you know, and
Yeah.
he was just a little boy then. But, you know, so I did some concrete work, and it was in April, and he says, Richard, I want you to coach Pony League for me. And I said, I'm too busy, Jack. I just started my business. He would not say no, so I started coaching Pony League and
Okay.
did it for 18 years. And then that winter, he asked me to coach 5th and 6th grade basketball. And then it turned into junior jazz after a few years when the jazz came in.
Right.
I did that for 16 years until I took a job out in Hawaii and couldn't coach that
Okay.
winter. But other than that, that's how we got involved, you know, in the
Okay.
community. Plus, you know, we played softball and baseball, and all of our kids have played baseball and
Right.
softball, and I can't remember ever even being home at night during the summertime because we were always down at the ballpark, either coaching or playing or watching our kids
your
play.
kids.
Yeah. It was a wonderful time. I mean, it was a wonderful time.
Oh, I
otherwise.
know. So Tamara, if he's out working and coaching, you're raising how many kids? Tell us about your kids.
We have 4 children, a son Rory, a daughter Haley, a daughter Kiplin, and daughter Carissa.
So one boy.
Yeah.
But did the girls enjoy sports?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so everyone played sports.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody did.
Oh, those are good memories. I can relate to that.
Nothing better.
And then when did you get more and more involved? Did it just kind of keep
Well, we've always
building upon that?
We've always stayed involved that way, you know, through the community.
Yeah.
But we lost Kiplin, and when that happened, and after we've seen how the community rallied around us and served us and helped us and did such wonderful things for us. And I've told this story a million times, but one time they told us that Kiplin was up at the Thistle Slide, and we could not, and so hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of volunteers went up there looking for him, going through dirt, sifting through dirt. Companies, you know, brought in equipment and things like that, and they would not let us go down and help. And so one time they did let us go down and thank all those people. Stacy, I don't know how you pay that back. You don't. You can't. But you can try. And so we decided that it was time that we would try to do everything we could to serve the community of Spanish Fork and try to pay them back the best we could. So that's what we've been doing, you know.
You have been. That was a big turning point in your lives.
Absolutely.
As I've got to know you both. And I know, I mean, it's a story that if you grew up here or even have moved in, we're very familiar with Kiplin and your story, and you've done a lot of fireside talks. I've heard people say, oh, I think Richard and Tamara came and talked to our youth about that experience and
Yeah, we've done that.
the impact it had on your life. And so is that when you chose to start, is it the Angel Box Vigil?
No, another couple, Larry and Mickey Johnson, started that back in 1999. But
Okay.
they, after a few years, they didn't want to do it anymore. And so the city came to me and Tamara and asked us if we would like to do that. And we said, absolutely.
Okay.
Positively, we would love to do that. And what a wonderful event that truly is in our city.
So tell us about, like, if someone doesn't know about this, what is it, Tamara?
Well, the Christmas Box Angel was in a story called The Christmas Box by, let's see, Richard? What's his name?
Richard Paul?
Evans. Yeah,
Richard-
it's Paul
okay.
Evans.
Yeah. And in the story, a woman who had lost her child would go to this cemetery where this statue of this angel was and sit there to mourn her lost child. And so then they started replicating this statue.
And Mickey and Larry had a grandson that had passed away, and they thought it would be a good asset to the city of Spanish Fork, and so they made a fundraiser and had our angel that's up at the cemetery made, and it was dedicated in 1999. It was the 7th angel that was dedicated in the whole world. Now there's hundreds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hundreds all over the world, you know, even as far as Japan.
Oh.
And anyway, it's dedicated to all those that have lost children.
Okay.
That's what it was dedicated for. And it's held every year on December 6th at 7 o'clock, no matter where in the world. You know, if
Okay.
it's 7 o'clock on December 6th, they're having that Angel Box program.
Oh.
And it's wonderful. I mean, we've had such wonderful speakers and wonderful musical numbers. And it's just an opportunity for all of us that have lost little ones to get together and feel the warmth of each other's spirit, and to
Yes.
feel our own little one's spirit
Yeah.
as we hold each other. And I've seen it where it's been so cold that you can't hardly even stand it, but yet the warmth there, we just snuggle together. And we've also seen it where it's been warm, where people wore shorts, you know.
Yeah, you never know in
You
Utah.
never
huh?
know. That's right. But it's a wonderful program, and we're so honored to be part of that.
Okay. And it sounds like if that was in the early 2000s when you took that over, was it shortly after that that you decided to run for city council?
Yes,
Okay. And you served 2 terms.
2 terms.
Is that right?
That's correct.
What was that experience like for both of you? Because that takes up a lot of time,
does,
right?
yeah. It
So
was-
again, you're home.
Well, our kids were raised then.
Okay. So you're just home chilling,
Yeah.
supporting him.
Yeah, he
No.
was gone a lot.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad he did it.
It was a good experience for you as
Yeah,
well.
it was.
Richard, what are some of your takeaways from serving on city council?
It was wonderful to serve the community. I did it to serve the people in the city of Spanish Fork. There was no agenda for me. I wanted to try to make Spanish Fork as best it could be. And it truly, well, how do you make Spanish Fork any better than what it is? It's just wonderful. But we had some great, wonderful experiences. I mean, we brought in North Park, Costco, Main Street, and Highway 6. We redid that while I was involved in that.
Yeah.
You know, just a lot of good, wonderful things happened during that time.
Well, you also oversaw, you were the council representative over Fiesta Days.
Yes.
Which now I feel like I just came in on your coattails with that. And one of the biggest things from my perspective is having the chairman come in on a 3-year rotation.
Yes.
Tell us about how you came up with that idea.
Well, I just did not like the way it was. When they asked me to do it, you know, for the 1st of January, they asked me to be in the Fiesta Days. And when I first had our first meeting with the chairman at the time, along with the staff people that were with him, I didn't like the way it was being done. So I went and talked to Seth Parent about it, and we came up with this idea of having 3 couples, a past, a present, and a
Outgoing.
and bring all 3 of them together, and then they would not get burned out. So you would come in as coming in, then the next year you would be the chairman, and then the next year you'd be the past chairman, and then you were gone. And then they would bring another person in. And I can't tell you, and you know, but you know this, how every time somebody new comes in, it brings another new idea for Fiesta Day.
sure.
Oh yeah, and it's just made it more wonderful and great. And these people they're just so wonderful. I just look back of all those wonderful committee members that were involved
agree.
in that, and what they brought into Fiesta Days. You know, I just sat back and enjoyed it, you know. And I've had somebody say, you know, Richard, you got to quit saying it's your Fiesta Days, you know. And they're right, you know. But yet, I love to brag about Fiesta Days, because it's just a great part of our life.
It really is.
It really is, and you felt that, you
Yeah.
know. I know you have, and it's because of these chair people. You know, every one of them have a special gift and a special talent, and they have brought it into Fiesta Days and made it just that much better every year. It's great.
Thank you. I know you guys love Fiesta Days. I
We
think
do.
that's why it's so special that you guys are representing as the Grand Marshals this year.
Well, we're
so-
honored.
Oh, I know, and I talked to Tom, and he also said, there's other people better than me. Why did you choose me? And I told him about you guys. I said, that's how we know that we chose the right people, because you both can think of so many other deserving people. We have a community of people that are incredible, but we're so happy to recognize you guys. We only have a couple more minutes, but I also want to, going back to Kipling, because I want to talk about the book you wrote and why, because if I remember correctly, it's so you're raising funds for a scholarship every year?
That's not what we really, when Kipling would have been a senior, we decided that we wanted to honor Kipling some way, and so we decided to give out a scholarship. And that year we gave out 2 scholarships her senior year to 2 of her classmates, and we've given out scholarships every year since then. A couple of winters ago, I just decided I needed to write a book about Kipling and the things that had happened when she disappeared, and our trial dates and everything else, and how it changed my life. And so I just sat down one winter and just started writing this book. And then what do? You know, people started wanting it. And so we decided it'd be a good idea to charge some money, and we put it towards her scholarship fund. And so one day when me and Tamara are gone, it will continue on. And so that's what we've done. We've been putting it in. We just take it down to the high school and say, here's another $5,000, put it in at the account, and one day, you know, our kids can continue on the legacy of giving out Kipling Scholarship.
So where can we find these books?
You can buy them through us, or you can buy them through KiplingDavis.com, or you can go down to the Stone Drug and buy them there. Okay,
perfect. I know you've done so many other things, and we don't have time. I mean, you were on our planning, as a planning commissioner. You've been bishop in your ward, which is another big job for you as well. But most recently, I want to say, was it last month? In City Council, you came in and made Spanish Fork a Just Serve community. Let's wrap up on that note. What is a Just Serve community?
Go for it, Tamara.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
We were called to be Just Serve specialists in the community of Spanish Fork.
Okay.
That consists of the LDS Church, all the interfaith churches, and the city itself.
And nonprofits.
And nonprofit organizations. Okay. And what we do is go look for service projects all over, and people will list those, and then we advertise them out so people can go out and get on their app, the Just Serve app, and they can go out and do service work all over the place. One of the great ones we like is Tabitha's Way. You can get on our Just Serve app and you can fill it out, and it goes right to her app, and you can fill out to either hand out food or sort the food or things like that. We've had some other wonderful experiences through Just Serve. But anyway, one of the things is trying to make our city of Spanish Fork a Just Serve city. Well, Spanish Fork's always been a Just Serve city. I mean, so it was an easy fix. All you had to do is sign a couple of papers, turn it in, and
make it official.
Make it official.
And just continue to serve.
But you know, there's millions of things that Spanish Fork has done as far as serving people and having people serve them, and so it was an easy fix. It was an easy. Now we're working on schools to get Just Serve clubs.
Oh, that's fun.
Yep, Spanish Fork and Maple Mountain High School. That's our next goal on.
Okay.
To get those involved.
Well, even though you might be retired, you're still serving. You're just serving, and you make it look easy and enjoyable. And you guys have left big footprints for all of us to follow in, and it's an honor to follow in your footprints, and it's an honor to know you. We're so lucky to have you part of Spanish Fork.
We're lucky to be Spanish Fork people. We love this town. It will always be in our heart.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being our Grand Marshals 2025.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Thank you.